bring business your way. So we'll work on seeing what we can do.
Absolutely.
Hello, Ms. Davy.
She's back on mute for a second. I think she's.
Yeah.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
evening.
Good evening. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning from here. Sorry, we a little bit late because I just got some problem with my team, so IT just pick it.
Okay.
No problem.
I would like to ask for a minute for my management, Mr. Sela. He would join this meeting too. So please wait for a minute.
No problem. Take a minute.
That's fine.
Thank you.
So, Mike, are you going Natural Products Expo next week?
Unfortunately, it's my least favorite show.
You know,
It outgrew Anaheim 15 years ago.
yeah.
It's just
Probably the last time I was there.
it's like you're in 4 different buildings. There's not enough hotels. There's not enough taxis. There's not enough Ubers. There's not enough of anything to support the show. And everything's jammed. There's not enough restaurants in the area, which is weird to say because it's Disneyland. There's just not enough of everything that you need.
Well, I think you just need to buy a Disneyland pass and go have some cotton candy and hot dogs or something.
Well, I mean, that's really the kick in the shin because I land on Saturday, like afternoon, and I leave to turn around and go back to Anaheim to take my children to Disneyland the following Friday.
Well, you'll know all the great places to take them to, but taking the kids to Disneyland is really fun.
I mean, I got to fly in and out of John Wayne Airport 4 times in 2 weeks. So that's
Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't been to that show or even to Disneyland. I haven't been to Disneyland since my kids were 7 and 8 or even younger. So it's been 25, 30 years.
We've
They've
done
been back
worlds,
since.
not lands.
My youngest went to USC, so she bought a season pass to go. So she's been back several times. But I was whenever I went down, I was either there on business or there to see her, and never made it to Disneyland. So
Yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't know why this link we have problem, and Mr. Sela he also got problem the same link, and it's still not yet fixed. So don't make it late. I think we can start.
Okay, yeah, that would be fine. That'd be fine.
Oh, he come to near me, so we can use one computer.
yeah, we can hear you, but there's a bad echo on my side. I don't know about the others, but
I don't know what happened. There's some issue with my my workstation, so that's why I'm coming over to David's side, so that I can join the meeting. So,
Well,
okay,
you're here
so
now, so that's great. So since you're here, why don't you introduce yourself?
okay, I'm Sayla. I am assistant to the CEO, and I'm helping David in export. So we mostly in the export for the business development side. So that's why we are here, and our purpose is to expand our export market, especially to the US. As you know, we already have a few partners in the US, but we want to expand it further. Yes.
and your products that are in the U.S. now, how are you importing them? Do you have your own entity set up, or are you working with an established importer?
Actually, for our product, we just export directly to our distributor. No, not really distributor. That's more like a reseller.
For our current customer in US, they are the kind of manufacturer. They import only raw material and create other new product. And other one is the restaurant and bakery shop. So we cannot find it in the retail shop yet.
Okay, I think I'm following along. So you have basically a co-manufacturer who imports the raw materials and then they rebag in the United States or repackage. Is that correct?
No, actually, they don't do repackaging. They just use our material as raw materials, for their product, for other product, basically.
Oh, I
They are
got
not
it's industrial.
selling our
It's not
product.
branded sales. It's
Oh, it's not. It's not. It's not.
Thank you. Okay, that clears it up. So when you envision what you want to do, just so I answer your questions correctly, you want to launch the branded product at US at retail. Which of your three brands are you looking to do that with? Because you have three unique brands, correct? You have Chem, the is it pronounced Kiram? And then you have
Yes.
the candy and syrup line. Let's start with a T. So so are you doing this one, or are you doing this one, or you want to do everything?
Oh no, I think it's best that we get your opinions because I think you know the US market better than us. So you can advise us which are the product that is more appealing or more interesting for the US market. For us, yeah, we the more the better. But I'm pretty sure that
Well,
the market might not be ready for some of our products.
okay, no, it makes sense. In looking through everything, I don't think you have to do much to change except for pack configurations, but I think you could wind up with a vibrant tea business on this brand.
Okay.
As an example, the Kampot pepper herbal tea is kind of a unique slant on it. It has the right inclusions. It's all organic. If it was packed right, individual SKUs, 20 sachets, maybe in a vertical packaging, I think you could definitely do something there. The only question becomes then is product positioning. If you wanted to go with an ethnic Asian supermarket kind of positioning, or if you wanted to go in the regular tea sets, which would be far more expensive to deal with, and all of that stuff can be worked with. But most everything that I saw here is going to require you to have certain amounts of inventory in the United States on a regular basis. It's going to require the use of distributors after the fact. And you're going to need some sort of local sales agent in order to execute whatever plan we help you develop, all of which we can help you with. From what I can tell in my limited online research, you have all the proper certifications. You certainly have a large enough business to support it. It's just going to be a question of how much do you want to invest in order to gain the retail authorizations and how quickly you want that to happen. Because this is not going to be a short project.
It's not. It's not.
The initial laying the groundwork for this, if you decide to go at it on your own and have a US office, which it looks like you have a European office as well. Is that how you handle that market?
Yes, we have European office in Paris.
So if you were going to do something similar here, you basically have two different choices. You could either find an established importer that has all the retail contacts that can be essentially your US sales agent. If you wanted to do it that way, there are several of those that you would get the protections of having a guaranteed partner to purchase the inventory from you and then resell it and work together on splitting marketing funds, and they have sales agents and existing relationships with brokers. You can go in that direction, or you can start from scratch and build a US operation, which really all you need is a local representative, some bank accounts, and a familiarity with the importing laws. It's actually not that complicated. It's more expensive, obviously.
It is.
But we can help you in either scenario if you wanted us to vet importing agents that specialize in these products. We're happy to do that. If you wanted us to help manage your business directly with the importer after the fact, we have that ability as well. We can do just about anything you need us to do, which is the nice part about our system. I don't know if Ron shared the PowerPoint with you, but our operation consists of, gosh, there's 5 of us now. We're growing like weeds. It's myself, my father, a gentleman named Charlie Morrow, who Ron knows very well, who's incredibly
Okay.
established in U.S. retail. And we have a dedicated additional salesperson and an additional administrative person that will handle all of your U.S. business needs from that perspective. Whether you wanted to go with an importer or you wanted to go out on your own, we have the infrastructure in place to support the sales of the business. We offer additional services, including backroom accounting, EDI services, the kind of technical stuff, accounts receivable, accounts payable. We have that infrastructure too. You know, it's very simple. We can do almost anything you want to do as long as you're willing to pay for it. And we can, and we can, you know, we can.
That's always the deal, right?
Well, it is. You know, we can help you with all of those things. We have enough expertise in the product areas that are ongoing that we can help build out a market plan. And the way that I see it is you should stick with the dry goods, which means no chocolate, but you
Yes.
stick the teas. I saw the syrup. That looked interesting. Some of the bulk spice programs, some of the peppers themselves, and some of the prebiotic products. And what you could do is either through an importer or on your own. Again, you have to make a decision there. To me, you have one of 2 choices. And really, that just becomes a question of which accounts you're targeting. You basically either go ethnic specialty, which means one route, or you position yourself as an organic natural product, which is a different route. If you decide to position yourself as an organic natural product, what it's going to mean is a different set of target customers, a different set of distributors. If you decide to position yourself as an ethnic imported product of Cambodia, you have a couple of different choices. You have mainstream U.S. grocery in the ethnic aisle, which there's substantial distribution opportunities there, or there's an entire subclass that specializes in the, and it's a catch-all because it services Korean populations, Chinese populations, Japanese populations, and position yourself as an ethnic Asian brand that has its own distributors, its own outlets, it's a separate cost of doing business, or you could do both. At the same time, you could also begin to develop more of an online footprint because there are some very low-cost options for you to go directly to the consumer through several of the established online channels. So there's a lot of possibilities. Everything's a question of time and money, and I can see a path to market. Again, on the tea, the syrup, absolutely, bulk spices, and maybe you have a different path to market on each thing. The only question becomes is how you want to go about it. Do you want to have full control of the operation, or do you want to work through a third party that will be, it'll guarantee the purchases of your inventory. They'll have a lot of the expertise involved. They'll handle the warehousing, the logistics, all the headache. But again, you're going to lose a certain amount of control in that situation. And there's going to be a certain amount of opaque or lack of transparency in the transactions because that's kind of the nature of the business. So there's a lot of different, the moral of the story is there's a lot of ways to enter the U.S. market.
Well, and not to interrupt here, but Mike, do you have the ability to quantify what those different options would be and kind of say based on the potential market and capacities? Because obviously they've got to do a cost benefit analysis of the different
Absolutely. And honestly, I didn't want to cost anything out until you decided, but it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars of entry if you go out by yourself, because you're going to need to find your own warehousing, your own everything.
Yeah.
If it's going to be an importer, it depends on the contract. They all work differently. Who takes title to it? Who owns the marketing funds? Do they just take a margin on the product? Do they charge you a monthly fee? There's a lot of parameters there. I can tell you what we cost depending on what you hire us for, but we'd have to shop it and find the best fit for us, because there's a major importer called World Finer Foods. I know Ron is very familiar with them. They're one of the premier importers of European goods in the United States. I would tell you right off the bat that even though they're an expert in what they do, you would fail miserably with them because that's not their specialty. That's not their expertise. They don't understand more natural leaning product. They're not really good at that. You know, there's all sorts of options that you could go into that are more either Asian centric in general, because maybe they kind of have the contacts at retail, or more natural leaning as an importer that you can go with. And they all have their own cost structures. They all have their own warehousing, and they all have their own deals as to who is responsible for which portion of the business in terms of fees. So without shopping it and getting to know your business better, I'm not comfortable quoting somebody else's costs.
Right.
Okay, understand.
I can tell you ours. If you wanted to put us on a flat fee retainer, depending on what you wanted us to do, at the low end, we're $2,500 a month. At the high end, if we do everything for you, and I mean all of it, including the back room, it's probably $12,000 a month. And that's including the back of the office. You get access to everybody. That's the spectrum that we run. We customize everything.
Do you have ability to forecast any of the products and say this one a potential market? The market volume is X many cases. You know, you can get to this level of sales if you do X, Y, and Z. Obviously, those are crystal balls, and nobody's perfect at that. But we don't want to spend time and effort chasing after a market that is 2 containers a year.
Again, completely fair. What I would say is I can only answer that question if we have a longer conversation that has some other things in, as in, here's what I think, and kind of do a proposal for, I think we should go with this trade class, here's why, here's how I would position it, here's what the volume opportunities are. You know, if we wanted to go, you know, the full natural, you know, it'll grow over the course of time into a multi-million-dollar business in the United States. If you went the natural trade class, and I could guesstimate the cost of entry, but we can definitely on a specific SKU level, and without knowing pricing and costs and all that stuff, it's hard to do. But we can definitely forecast the velocities per POD, and then talk about how long it takes to acquire an individual store. Absolutely, I can help you with that.
That's the type of stuff that I think would help. And again, speaking out of turn, but from where I'm sitting right now, that's the type of stuff that the companies will need to determine, is it cost benefit analysis? Is it positive to do this? Where's the break even? What does it take? And what are the options?
If you decide to go natural, your unit movement is going to be approximately, on your good items, 3 units per store per week. On your less than good items, a unit and a half per store per week. You should be able to achieve, you know, and obviously there's lightning bolts in here. If you get in sprouts and stuff like that, it completely throws your numbers off. But you should probably be looking at it in an acquisition phase of probably 500 individual locations in year 1, and then kind of building out from there. And that's just individual stores. That doesn't count e-com business. That's pure retail. And then you would look at your costs and how much everything costs. I mean, there's a lot here, and the sales are probably going to trail the initial presentations and work between 90 and 120 days.
So, Mike, how would you define the natural channel? Are you talking pure natural food stores or supermarkets that have the natural sections, or
definitely not supermarkets? By natural channel, I'm not, and not completely pills and powder shops, but we call it, and we say it kind of jokingly. When I say natural channel, I mean any store that does not carry Coca-Cola products is a natural store.
Okay.
It's the easiest way to define it. So, like Jimbo's Naturally is not a normal pill and powder shop. You're going to move a lot of product there. That's what I mean by natural store.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Park Slope Co-op in Brooklyn, natural store.
Yeah, there's a lot of good co-ops around the country as well.
Yeah, it's not just Phil's Vitamin Shop. Natural Grocers, Whole Foods,
PCC.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So taking this the next step, and again, I should let Davey speak and their team, but taking the next step, what you said you need more time to talk to them. So you're ready to jump on a plane and fly to Cambodia?
I would love to if that was part of it. I would be happy to do that.
Okay,
And
I think that's good timing now because it's
I-
time for a couple
It- it-
hours plus time for the palm sugars hours. So,
I have
but
small children. I would just need to clear it with my wife first. But I'm,
Well, good
I
luck
would
with that.
happily.
Good luck with that.
No,
I
she'll
just,
say yes. We just got to plan it out.
okay,
But yes, no, I would absolutely do that and talk through the business and lay through everything. But we we have a program. We're happy to go through it. We're actually doing the same. We're actually going to the manufacturer the week after next in Quebec. So I know we're being a little jokey, but I would do that to go
Okay.
out there and talk through the business. We do that now. It's a little
okay.
farther than we normally go. But
Actually, Mike, for us, right? For us to make decisions within the numbers, and we need the proposal on the tables. I think you already mentioned a few options, and we are trying to evaluate those options, the pros and cons. But we have to do the cost and benefit analysis, and also the best is that to get as much information from you,
Mhm.
especially because you know the U.S. market better, and then we will see our ultimate objective is to get our product into the U.S. market as quickly as possible, and without much capital investment. I mean, like to build the whole infrastructure, it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of money. So we will, like I mentioned, we will have to study the cost and benefit analysis and then see which one
So-
fits our plan better.
what I would offer to you then, and thank you for answering that, is you would want to find an importer partner that does all the hard stuff. That becomes your. I think most of those wind up with some degree of exclusivity, but you want to line up with an importer that we can help you vet and we can help you go through. But more importantly, we can be your local contact for the importer to work with and help them build out the sales and help them execute the plan that we give them. So they're doing what we ask them to, as opposed to what they're going to do, which is what happens sometimes. So what I would propose, if that's what you're looking to do, and that actually answers a lot of questions for me, is we can put pen to paper and ballpark some of the fee structures for how the importers operate.
Okay.
And we'll just use some standard importers. We're not going to go and interview until we get past this stage. So we'll put pen to paper on some of that. And I would, based on a situation where it sounds like you would only need us to be the local contact, work in our rate. And I will put some estimates down as to volume opportunities. What I would like from you, which would be helpful to me, is if you could send me some pricing information, because I could do everything in units, but if you want to see hard dollars, I don't I don't know how much your stuff costs. I couldn't do that. I don't know. I don't know what you would charge landed.
That's an important factor. So,
Well, if you want a dollar estimate, it matters. I don't know what the cost structure is on even if you did these on a 25 sachet box of tea. I don't know for the life of me. I don't know if this is $4 or $50, which is also going to be limiting to your customer base as well.
We have we supplied to them? To them, right?
Yeah, to Rick and Ron.
Okay. To Mike?
Again, offhanded, what I would like to see, and I could give you the items, your tea items. I absolutely want to find out about this syrup.
Yes.
Because that's interesting to me. the spices and how they're packed and configured currently, because I'm assuming that your pack sizes are going to be too large for the U.S. market. You're going to have to factor that into your costing. Everything should be in a 6-pack, if possible. The selling
Okay.
unit, you can import in masters, which is another good thing about an importer. You can import in a large box of 4 inners of 6 each, but the selling unit to the retailer's got to be in 6.
Okay. Okay.
And then what else would I need to put something coherent together for you? Shelf life would help, so I understand what I'm looking at, and I'd like to know more about the chem prebiotic and probiotic stuff that I saw on your website that I think I see behind you, because that would be interesting as well. And then
Okay.
with that information, if I'm probably going to need a month, because I'm going, and I was telling them at the beginning, I'm going to Expo West next week, and then after I land, I'm going on vacation for a week with my family. So I can have something to you upon our return with actually all of this stuff, because after I get the baseline information from you, it's actually not that hard to put together because we know a lot of this information already.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome.
But I would be happy to do that. It looks interesting. I'm going to try the jasmine tea this evening when we get off this call to get my relaxation in, because I haven't tried the tea yet. And and
Let us know how you like it.
What's that?
Let us know how you like it.
I will absolutely do that. I generally like jasmine teas of all kinds, so I'm sure I'll like it. And after that, we can take the next steps. We're not in a hurry. I don't have to pressure you to do anything.
No, we're not.
These are very serious decisions. There's a lot of money involved and a lot of time.
Exactly.
So there's no rush here.
We have to, like you mentioned, we have to, we have to think about it carefully. We have to study different options. We want to test the waters. We want to see how how well our product is received in the U.S. because we are doing pretty good in European market, but we are still new. We are versions in the U.S. market. That's why we need expertise like you. So that's why it's gonna be it's gonna be a long process.
Absolutely.
Before we can commit a big investment into this. But eventually, yeah, our goal is to grow our business in the U.S. So basically, North America, U.S. and Canada, because they are just neighbors. So
well, that's the nice thing about working with us. We have the Canadian contacts as well, so you can look at the full North American program. They're different paths, different strategies, but we can look at it as a total North American solution. So what we'll do is I will put together some sort of baseline proposal to work off of. If you want to get into deeper discussions or you want me to start doing actual legwork for you, we can agree to either an hourly or a monthly or something like that, loose commitment, if you wanted me to do more research and stuff, and we can take it from there.
Power's out.
It's a blackout here, so okay, or I'm not sure how long it's gonna last, but I want to have a quick wrap up. We just want, it's back on. We just want to test the concept first, and then we will decide from there.
Absolutely, we're in agreement. I completely agree with you.
Well, and one thing to keep in mind is COVID lifts, if it does in fact lift. During the COVID years here, new product introductions have been slow because consumers weren't going to the grocery stores or the health food stores. They were ordering online or shopping online and picking up at the stores. I'm thinking that once things start to open up, we'll see a boom in new products, and the fact that the consumers will go to the store and look for something new because they haven't been in the store for a while. So it could be there's going to be competition for shelf space, but it's also going to be a good time to launch new products because people have been hungry for something other than their staple products.
It's true, but as part of the strategy with whoever we work with, and it's going to be important for an importer partner, their capabilities to sell into the e-com space is going to be part of it. We're going to want somebody who can do the fulfillment on their own or as partnerships where they're not nickel and diming you for case pick fees and they have everything done. That's going to be part of the that's going to be part of our criteria, because whoever we work with, we're going to want to have them help grow a U.S. e-com business.
Perfect.
Okay, sounds good.
So
Uh,
no, go ahead. If you have other questions, go.
No, I'm good. What you were saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we'll do an email introduction. I know you probably do have each other's, contact here from the call, but we'll just do an introduction and, say, we had a great meeting. We look forward to you guys working together. And then you can pretty much at that point take it on their own, right, Jim? We don't need to be part of it anymore, or?
No, I do want to be part of it because one, we want to see where we can help if there is need for us to help. And two, there is another USAID project that is pending. And once this one retires, the new one hopefully will be on the winning team there and be able to continue to support and work. And I'm also just curious to see how it works out. So yeah, keep us in the loop.
Okay.
We'll add comment when we'll add comment when it's of value. We'll be quiet when it's not.
I will make sure you're copied on our deliverables. Isn't that what the big companies say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm fighting with the project right now on deliverables and the reality of the world, which is, one, it's changed with COVID, and two, it doesn't necessarily comply with USAID and their regulations. But the opportunity here is to move things forward, and it sounds like we're on the right track there. So
yeah, we're
I
making really good
from my
steps.
standpoint, I was impressed with the quality of products. We don't always get the finest products, and the packaging and design and quality control and standards. And you guys have done a good job. So I'm optimistic that success can be achieved. So.
I definitely think so. If you would be so kind as to send me some of the information that I asked for in terms of pricing, and you could, even if you told me what you retail for at home, I could take some guesses. Obviously, if you can convert it into US dollars for me, that would be swell, because
actually, Mike, we're gonna be very open with you, about our pricings, about pricing strategy or pricing structures, actual wholesales or retails or suggested retail pricings in the US, or no, in Europe or in Cambodia. We can share all the information with you, so you can,
Europe operations
formulate
for the US market. So
no,
we're very open about this.
I
Yes.
appreciate that, and if you want, I'm very comfortable if some of this, if it makes you more comfortable to share. If you want me to sign some sort of an NDA, I'm happy to. That's a non-disclosure.
I think at the moment it's fine. All this it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. If it gets to that point, again, happy to. Not a big deal. But send me, if you can, the pricing information on the items that I asked for, and I will build you out a plan. And after I get the information, I'll tell you when I can have it back to you, and then we can take the next steps from there.
Okay, and after that, we can Davi will send you the information. We'll email you the introductions. Perfect. And together with the price list and other information that we think that you probably need. And after that, we can take it from there, and then we can have less online meetings, because I think, Mike, you're gonna be very busy in the next couple of weeks, and you can let us know how do you like our tea.
I will definitely let you know.
Oh, good.
Very nice to meet you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I look forward to getting the information so I can take the next steps.
Great. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for their time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.